Hello everyone, welcome to Hiran's Wow. In this video, we are going to look into how to make any house into a home. I feel making a home can be the most personalized and a beautiful experience for anyone. I was someone who was blessed with a stable home by my parents for the first 23 years of my life, and I'll always be thankful for it. I woke up in the same bedroom except if we went for either family visits or on vacation. On contrary, since I moved out from my parents' place to make a living of my own, I actually moved 7 places in the last 6 years. In this video, I'm going to talk about how did I still manage to make a home out of all those places. Here are a few tips that helped me make a home out of the house in the last few years. The first thing is anticipating the duration of your stay. Based on the reason of why you want to move has a huge impact on the place you might choose and how you actually design it to make you feel belong there. If it is for a university, it is mostly a no-brainer. If it is for an undergrad, you'd go for 3 to 4 years, and if it is for masters, it could be 1 to 2 years. So based on that, you can design your place. Instead, if you're going for a job, it is best to go for an unfurnished apartment and see how you feel in your job. If you're feeling satisfied, if you intend to continue for a longer term, then renting an unfurnished apartment and slowly gathering the pieces that are essential for you would make sense. If you're not really sure, and if you have plans to move to another location or a different job, then going for a rather furnished apartment which has all the amenities, being there for the time you intend to be, and then moving out for a new place would make things much easier. The next thing is, don't buy furniture unless you're sure to live in a place for at least 2 years. This is something which at least worked well for me. In the last 6 years, I did not buy a single piece of furniture. Buying furniture and moving furniture is one of the most expensive and inconvenient tasks if you're someone who's constantly on the move. If you're someone like me who really likes to feel belonged in a place, here are few quick tips. Even without having your own furniture, you can still feel home. The first thing is, if you don't have your own bed and you still want to feel like it's yours, buying sheets or using those sheets which are already your favorite and using the same pillow covers and cushion covers would make you feel initially that you're home when you're in a new place. And also having your own personalized bedside stuff like your favorite photo frames, essential oils, a clock, or even scented candles would make you associate more with the place, because our brain relates a lot with the smells and makes memories according to the smells it associates with. If the question is, when would it be a right time to invest in a furnished place? I think at least my answer is when you feel more sure and more stable. After the last 6 years, only now is when I actually started to invest in certain things like blinds or even small pieces of furniture based on my affordability and not going overboard. And by not going overboard, you know what your limitations are, and we appreciate more of what we have than always looking for what we don't have. The next important aspect is knowing your monthly expenses and your budget. Having a clear idea on how much you intend to spend on your stay, and also knowing on weekly basis how much time do you actually spend at home would define a lot of elements. If it wasn't for COVID or working from home, I probably wouldn't have picked the home I'm living in right now. Based on our circumstances, understanding our limitations, it is very important to choose a home based on what do we intend to do and what are we actually expecting from that place. Is it just to relax? Is it to work efficiently or being more productive? If you're someone who's constantly moving places, it can be quite difficult choosing the next place. For me, what worked very well this time is having a checklist of what I was expecting from this place. A checklist is nothing but having a list of elements that you want from this place. It could be the geographical location, that is being closer to the supermarkets. It could be having an unfurnished place, being closer to the nature or city, All these elements come under the checklist, and when you spot your place, it will be much easier to shortlist and decide on where you want to live. The next point is don't buy non-essential kitchen appliances. It is always very good to have easy appliances to make sure that we cook more faster. However, if you're moving to different countries, these appliances will not be of much help because their sockets will not be compatible and the voltages are also different. So ultimately, even though you spend on good appliances, they will not always be lasting for long if you're moving places. If you're having a particular food craving that requires this particular kitchen appliance, it would rather be easier to go to a restaurant and have it. And if you think it is more recurring, then assessing the value of cost per meal and only investing then would make a lot of sense. The next thing is go secondhand. On a sustainability standpoint and on the economical standpoint, it is best to make sure that you invest only in the right things. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. For utensils, certain furniture, and even season-specific clothes. This way, you don't have to really be bothered about carrying them to your next place, and you can either donate or give away to your friends and happily get rid of all that extra clutter. The next one is having some life around. If you're not someone like me who doesn't have a pet, it is best to start off by having some plants which breathe along with us and having that presence of life felt around. Starting off with easy to maintain plants like succulents or plants that you can water once a week are a good way to start off with. And once you make sure that you keep them alive, there will be some sort of confidence developing and also a sense of responsibility towards watering them as and when it is needed. Giving away plants if you have to move might not always be as easy as giving away the second-hand or used stuff. So even though we are attached, knowing that you have people to take care of them if you're not around is the first thing you might want to check. That is just making sure that you have friends around who can give them water when you're not around, and also people who are willing to take them if you intend to move at some point, and also either identifying a nursery who can take these plants later on, or friends who would be really interested in making sure that these loving beings have another extended life is very important before you get them home. The next thing is know what you enjoy when you pick a place. Is it a nature-centric place that you might be enjoying more, or a city-centric space, or both? So really identifying and tapping into yourself and making sure that you feel belong, whatever place you choose, is very essential. The geographical location and the connectivity play an important role as well. If your university or workplace is more than 1 hour away from your home, it might not be a pleasant commute all the time. Making sure that you have at least a 15-minute to 1 hour gap between your home and your workplace or university would be a good time either to travel and also to disconnect when you're coming back home and live a separate life. As much as the geographical location, it is also very, very important to pay attention to the security, because no matter how beautiful your interiors might be or how fancy the place might be, if you're not in the right neighborhood, your mental peace will be heavily compromised. So for me, having a secured location has always been on top of my list, and then came the rest of the things. The next thing is be authentic with your taste. A house can be anything with 4 walls and a roof, but it becomes a home only when we make it our own by adding our own personality and our own taste into it. No matter how different you are or in which part of the world you are, having those things which really matter to you and represent you in your home speak a lot about yourself. To make any house into a home, it needs an element of ourselves. So for this, it might mean being really bold in making the decisions that we want. Probably the color choices or the things that you might want to have in your home might be very unique, but it is very important to have them because it is who you are. Having pictures of our loved ones, even memories from our childhood, would make us feel more belong in a place. The next thing is asking for help and returning the favor. While you're constantly on the move, it means that you're actually always making new connections and trying to adjust in a new place and a new locality. You might not know what is alright and what is not, and always asking for help, getting to know people and getting to know the place, and asking support for your move is alright. And then definitely remember to return that favor when the time comes. It is not just asking for help, but it is also about being there when someone else needs us. No matter where we choose to live in this world, feeling safe, happy, and belong is something all of us deserve to be. Hope you will also be able to make any house into a home. Please do subscribe for more content, and thank you so much for watching Hiran's Wow. Bye for now.